Oh my goodness, I can't believe how quickly the weeks come around. It's Tina Konstant here, and this is more Waffle-Free Storytelling. So welcome. As you know, the waffle is down in the show notes, or go visit www.tinaconstant.com for, well, everything. But you know how we rock and roll over here. We're jumping right into the story. And today it's all about how Dinty found her way. Because she was born lost. To her it seemed like everyone knew the path they should take in life and what to do when they get there. But not her. Never her. Every day and every week she tried something new. Every time hoping it would be that thing, the thing that would stick and give her life purpose and meaning. That's all she wanted, to know why she was on the planet at all. But nothing she tried ever felt right. She followed in her parents' footsteps, but that didn't feel right. She followed her friends, but that didn't feel right. She followed strangers who seemed to know where they were going, but that didn't feel right either. After a while, she actually went a little wild and followed a squirrel and then a bear for a moment. It was... but of course that didn't feel right either. Finally, she gave up all hope. She packed her bags and she followed the sun. The sun was glad for the company. Most people just used his rays to grow things and stay warm. No one ever followed him. What he enjoyed most was the conversation. Dinty talked about all sorts of things as they walked. She had ideas and theories about the whole world and how she thought it worked. Above all, she had questions. "You have a lot of questions," the sun said as they ambled across the meadow, and Dinty shrugged. "Well, sure I got questions, but they aren't getting me anywhere I need to be." "Well then maybe," said the sun, "you're asking the wrong questions. And maybe," he said after a pause, "I'm not the one you should be following. But I think I know who can help," he said. "My sister, the moon. She's the keeper of dreams. Maybe she can help you find your path." And so, following the sun's directions, Dinty stayed up late into the night waiting for the moon. She was beautiful and graceful and peaceful and serene. Dinty told her the problem. "I can't find my path," she said. "Nothing seems right." For a while the moon stayed silent. Then she smiled. "Your path is often hidden in your dreams," she smiled. "Sleep now. We will see what we can do." And so, wrapped in vines and leaves, long grass and earth, and watched over by the moon, Dinty fell deeper and deeper into her dreams. They were full of light and color, noise and joy, clarity and voices. But no matter how closely she listened, Dinty couldn't make out the words. And when she woke, tight as she held onto it, she couldn't keep grip of the thread that led to her dream. The moon thought for a moment. "I know who can help you," she said. "Go to the great mountain. There's a fire in the belly of that mountain that will help you find your path." And so Dinty travelled, the warmth of the sun through the day and the serenity of the moon through the night. She finally came to the mountain with a fire in its belly. "Oh, not many come to me," said the mountain. "I'm happy for your company. Come inside, see how close you can get to my flames." And so Dinty climbed to the top of the mountain, and step by step she climbed down into it and went as close to the fire as she dared. It was hard to sit that close to the heat. Dinty felt it on her face and her skin and her hair. The fire studied her from deep in the mountain. "The only way you get closer is to breathe it in," the fire boomed. And so Dinty did, bit by bit, slowly and with great concentration. She breathed in the fire until she felt it burn in her heart and come alive in her belly. It felt like fireworks, a thrill of excitement and potential, like bursting flames wanting to escape a furnace. The power of it was almost too much for her. She didn't know where to point it. "You have a friend in the sun," the fire said. "You have a guide in the moon, and you have fire in your belly. What else could you possibly need to find your path?" Dinty put her head in her hands. "I don't know," she said. "That's the problem. I feel like I have everything I need. I just don't know what to do with it." The fire in the mountain hissed and churned. "Go to the lake," it said. "Commit to the lake, and you will find your path." And so Dinty left the mountain with fire in her belly. She walked for days with the sun on her back. She slept through the night with the moon guiding her dreams. And after weeks of travel, she came to the great lakes. The water was still and clear, cool and quiet. Dinty stood on the edge of the lake and waited. No one came. She called out for answers, and still no one came. She threw stones into the water to get a response from the lake, anything. But no one came. Finally, Dinty stepped into the water. She walked until the water covered her ankles. Then she kept going until the water reached her knees. The rocks under her feet were hard and sharp, but still she kept going. The water reached her waist, then her shoulders. The deeper she went, the darker and colder it got, but still Dinty kept going. After a while, she couldn't reach the bottom, so she started to tread water. But the water was so cold her body froze and her limbs seized, and she began to sink. Panic rose in Dinty's chest. What was she doing? She was too far from the shore. She had nothing to hold into. She was too small and the lake was too big. The lake had to save her. Someone had to save her. But no one did. And without a word, the lake drew her deeper and deeper into the dark. Looking up from beneath the surface of the cold, unforgiving water, Dinty saw the moon beam down on her, and she closed her eyes. It was there, in the dark and in the quiet, that she felt the fire in her belly burn and churn, spit and soar. As it burned, it warmed her body, and she thought of the sun, her friend. Then she thought of her dream, and the quieter she got, the clearer her dream became. And with that, she found the thread, and she pulled. Closer and closer, louder and louder, she finally heard the words she had never been able to hear. What's the one thing you can do right now? Dinty thought. I need to get to the surface. I need air. The one thing I can do, I can swim. I can swim to the surface. And so Dinty swam. When she got to the surface of the lake, she breathed in new air and looked around her, and again she heard the voice. What is the one thing you can do right now? And Dinty thought, I need dry land. And so she focused on the shore and she swam to it. She got to shore and she pulled herself out of the water and felt the ice cold on her skin. And again she heard the voice. What is the one thing you can do right now? And Dinty built a fire that dried her clothes and warmed her flesh. The lights of the fire attracted travellers who joined Dinty and asked her how she got there. And Dinty told them how the sun was her friend, and how the moon was her guide, and how she got fire in her belly, and how she survived the lake by doing the one thing that she could at that moment. And with that, Dinty travelled the world. She joined in, she explored, she took right roads, she took wrong roads, she swam rivers, she swam lakes, she swam oceans. She backtracked, she flew forward, she laughed, she loved, and she lived every day. And after many, many years, with the sun on her back and the moon in her heart and fire in her belly, Dinty looked back to see the long and winding path she had taken. And she saw that it was exactly as it should be. And that's it. That's it from the Waffle-Free Storytelling podcast for today. If you want the waffle, it's down in the show notes. There's all sorts of new gubbins up on the website. So go to www.tinakonstant.com and have a play around there. Take your time about things, folks. Some people work life out really fast. Gosh, I look at these folk and I go, how the heck did you do it? How did you do it? Hey, some of us take time, and that's okay too. The meandering path can be the really interesting one. So kick back, enjoy, hug the people you love, and, say hi to the strangers. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye now. Hey. Let's later, Jack.